Oh, welcome. Come on in. This is my new studio kitchen. Let me show you around. This is CKSK, the Chad Kubanoff Studio Kitchen. This is my second studio kitchen I've ever built. This one's a little bit smaller than my previous one. So you can see out here we have all of our plates, pans, and all that kind of stuff. This is my house as well. That's one of the reasons why we moved to a second location. We'll get into that later. And in this video, I'm gonna answer all of your questions. All of your questions about the studio, why we did it, what we did. So let's come on in, let me show you around. This is my new spot. I'm so pumped about it. I'll tell you everything I love about it and why it's so much better than the previous spot. First studio that I ever built, we brought over to this spot. Basically revolved around this custom table. So I built this table, this bar, this work surface for the first location. And as we work our way around to the other side, you can kind of see all the details. There's a lot involved with this area. But when I was designing this the first time, I needed something that was going to be able to be used as a studio, a filming studio. I needed something that was going to be able to be used as like a private dinner space. So during our pop-up dinners, we've designed this to have up to 12 seats. Although I'll be honest, the 12 seating is a little bit tight. 10 is much more comfortable, but we can fit 12 if your group is 12. When we wanted to do the studio space, that means we need lighting, we need filming. And to do this lighting, I always knew that I don't own this location, we're renting this location. So I wanted to make sure that we had a way to easily take down and move our setup. So we have this metal frame that goes inside and goes all around the space. This was the original frame, although when we came into this location, it had to be chopped down and reshaped a little bit, but this is basically what we had before with a little bit of tweaking. And this allows us, one, to hang all of our pots and pans, so it gives us more space. It gives us a way to hang up all of our lights without using any sort of tripod, which is great, so we have more floor space, and we're also able to hide all of our cabling. So there's a lot of cabling when you are trying to build out a studio. So Tang's bringing you over here. Let's talk about this right now. This is kind of our mother station. This is the heart, the brain of the streaming and the studio. Everything that's in this space gets wired into this table here. This is so complicated. You won't believe how annoying and difficult streaming is. So you need a lot of stuff. We have all of our cameras coming into our, docking station, USB docking station in the back. So some of our cameras are hardwired into here. Some of our cameras are going through NDI or going through the internet. This is all kind of complicated and in the weeds talk, but each camera works differently. Some cameras offers better quality, so those are our main cameras. Some cameras have less quality, so those are kind of B-roll cameras or tracking cameras. I think we're operating on 6 cameras right now. So we have an overhead camera over top. We have a PTZ camera on the table. This one can move around and look, so when we have 2 guests over here or 2 guests sitting over here, we can use this camera to put in the right stuff to find it. We have that Pocket 3, which you just saw me switch to. Then we also have a secondary, nicer camera that will be stationary. Tang will set this up for a stationary shot somewhere. Then we also have like a stream deck, which is kind of like a switchboard. This allows us to switch our camera angles if we want to do sound effects. And then our system is even more complicated because Tang's over here with a roaming camera. So he's got a camera that's completely wireless, and he's also got a wireless extension of the stream deck so he can do all the camera switching in his hands as he's moving around. All right, so this is Tang's setup right now. We have the TikTok stream on the phone. We don't usually do that, but I think this is probably gonna work out for us. He's got his main camera on a gimbal. Then he's got a monitor over here so he can see what he's shooting. And then this is a wireless HDMI transmitter so we can see this camera going live into our system over here. This is an audio switchboard. All the mics go into here. The music and the sound effects go through this, and this is how we can monitor what's loud, not too loud, and keeping everything in balance. And so usually Tang has always got headphones on so he can hear what you guys are hearing. Beyond that, we do have some extra cabling on here. There's a lot of extra stuff. It has taken us a long time to get to this point, getting comfortable with this point. If you want to be a streamer, especially if you want to stream a new style or a new niche, complicated. So if you have any questions, this will be the time to get your questions in the chat. If you want to do something similar, throw them in the chat. As I walk my way over to there, I'll go through all the chat and answer all those questions. This space, there's a lot of details in here, so I don't want to start digging in here because I'm going to get lost in the sauce. This space is smaller than our previous location, as I said. So this space is really just seating. There's no extra space in this spot, which is kind of nice. And actually, I would recommend that to people. Take it as small as you can, keep everything tight and efficient, and don't waste space would be a great idea. Besides for the room itself, which we do have a little bit of a balcony on the outside. Let me open that for you quickly so you can see it. Now, this isn't really a crucial part of the studio, but it's just a nice feature. It's really good. So this whole room is glass. That's one of the huge selling point for me. And then we have a little outdoor patio space, which we are starting to grow some food and grow some gardens. I have a fruit tree, I have a little lemon tree, and we have a lot of chilies, kumquat, and sesame leaf. These are tiny little chilies here, little tiny red chilies. These are nice. This guy's not looking good, don't look at him. We have air conditioners blowing on these plants right now. We need to change this. So this is one solution needs to get fixed. It's killing my plants. This is a fruit tree called Kop, which is a really sour tree. And actually with this tree, you can eat the leaves. The leaves are super sour, I love it. All right, let's pop back in. Okay, my system. Okay, so what I see when we're streaming, I got 2 cameras on the table. So this will be like a stream where Tang is here. I'm trying to interact with you guys as much as possible. So this is what I'm going on. I have this portable monitor right here, which shows me the program out. It shows me what you're seeing at home. So this is what you guys are looking at. This is the comment that's popped up at this moment. And here's the chat rolling. So I'm seeing what you're seeing. And then on this computer, I have all the chat that's coming through on all the different platforms. So I can read all through the chat, and then I can also double click and bring up that chat in there. And then I also have the music in here as well, so I can see or change the track if I want to. That's all I can do from this computer. Later, I'll have a setup where I can pull up stuff too. So if I want to pull up something or be able to react, I'll do that on this computer as well. You don't know how many doors you just opened for young chefs, chat. That's great to hear, man. I love it. Like, what I'm doing now is so darn niche, and it was so hard because there was nobody for me to learn from or look up to. You know, there's a few cooking streamers out there, but their setups are really minimal, really basic. It's hard. So, you know, it's a little annoying to be the Pioneer, that was the word. Way to go, Mr. Vietnamese man. That was the perfect word. It's a little annoying to be the pioneer in the situation because I'm the one who has to figure it. I don't have to, but I'm the one who is spending money, figuring out, learning, and dealing with issues. And there's always a new challenge, I promise you. The next step for me is like trying to figure out how do I get this whole stream set up in a way where I can operate it by myself. So when Tang's not here, I can just do simple streams. There's always a new challenge, there's always new problems, and I'm working on that next step for me right now. So just continuing on with all the big giant framing and all this stuff. When you're trying to stream, when you're trying to shoot video, a big concern is sound. You don't want to hear a lot of extra noise. When you're in a kitchen, your big concern is kind of removing hot air. It's nothing about sound, kitchens are loud. I had a very small home hood, and the hood just extracts the air. The previous studio was just getting so hot that I had no choice. So we did get a large commercial kitchen hood, and this is hanging on our frame. This hood then has this big exhaust pipe that cuts through this piece of glass over here and then goes outside, and then that pulls out the air. And then we have a second intake of air that pulls air in, so hopefully the majority of the air-conditioned air will stay in here. So I knew this was gonna kind of be my main spot, and when I worked at Alenia in Chicago, one of the best things that we had at Alenia was a spoon well. This is a spoon well. When I turn it on, it always has water flowing into it. So that means my spoons are always getting new rinsed water. They're always going to be clean. Typically in most kitchens, this is not a normal thing. So most kitchens, you just get a container, a bucket, a bain-marie. You put your spoons in there, you fill them up with water, and then you try to change your water every hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you can. As much as you can, you change your water. With this system, the water's constantly cycling. There's always new water draining in and draining out. So when I'm busy, it's on, the water's flowing in. If I'm done, I can turn it off at any time. This keeps my spoons clean. It keeps my spoons right where I need them, so I'm not running around moving. That's a big part. Another big thing I wanted to do was I wanted to have a trash can right in front of me. So we cut this table out, and this is a trash can right below here. So it keeps everything nice and clean. I never have to leave my station area. One thing about like really working in a kitchen is you're always looking how to be efficient, how to save time, and I don't want to be running around. Every time I run around, I'm wasting time. So I wanted everything right here, and I have everything right here. So this is great. For me, I wanted to have a gas-powered stove. I wanted to cook over fire. I wanted a real oven. There's parts of me that regret that a little bit now. But, I mean, I love cooking on fire. Like, cooking on fire is the best. But I did buy a badass, real gas stove with a badass, real oven. This part's great, and the gas stove is just a propane tank that hangs out under here. And this is where my trash can is, and then I have a gas stove under there, and I have a backup gas stove. You can see the plumbing for the water. Simple, but everything's tight. There's no wasted space at all. Pretty fantastic. So besides for this big ass stove, I also have a low boy refrigerator under here. So this is one of the refrigerators in the spot. Not a freezer, just a refrigerator. Nice and tight, clean. Gives me another space to work from. This was kind of the OG layout. The only thing that was different is I didn't have this thing under here, and I did have a small hand sink under here just to wash my hands. That was my other idea. I wanted to be able to wash my hands right here and never have to leave. That worked. It was okay. It was a little annoying to dip down every time I washed my hands. I couldn't see well. I couldn't really do anything else with the sink. At the old studio, I used to have a big sink not far from me, but in this studio, the sink is far. Where I wash dishes, it's across the other side of the house. So what I decided to do was cut a new hole in my table, and we have a hole cut in here, and we put the sink in here. I'm really glad that this studio was too small that it forced me to do this, because this is a major improvement for me. I love having a medium-sized sink in here. It's so nice. So I have a hand washing sink. This water outlet also can fill up pots when it goes over. That's such a nice little feature. This is filtered water, so this is drinkable water here. That's super great. The only thing I haven't finished yet in here is I have a hole in the table, and I'm gonna put some sort of soap dispenser right in here. And then that'll be like the final thing to finish the sink off. I didn't do that yet. It's great just to be able to do some washing of knives or washing of dishes, to drain pasta in here, necessary, major improvement. And it wouldn't have happened unless I was forced to do it, because I would have been just too sensitive about cutting this table. But I was very happy I did that. Underneath here, we're still trying to figure out this area. All my dishwashing stuff, I try to keep all the sponges and scrubbies and all that stuff under here, unseen. I have my backup cutting boards if I'm doing raw proteins or stuff just hanging here. I put my deep fryer down here for now because I barely use it. I don't have a good spot for it yet. And then I have some small strainers. Anything that's a tiny handheld strainer is coming over here. So even in all my little nooks and crannies, there's a hook somewhere to hang something. So there's no space wasted. The only thing that's a problem is anytime you have water, you have plumbing to deal with, and I don't want to be drilling into a floor that I don't own. So the plumbing comes out here, and we have this sort of piping that goes through here. I guess the biggest downside to this current situation, but I had the same situation at the old studio. There's really no way around it unless I'm going to chop up the floor, and I'm not going to do that. I have to be aware of what I'm putting down this drain. I can't put anything oily or dirty. This drain is really just for water. My first studio, I used to have this giant ass table behind me. It was as big as the front table, but this space is much smaller, so I couldn't use that. That is now in my basement. I'll give you a basement tour later when we build out that kitchen. That's gonna be a separate thing. So for this kitchen, I had to hang. Everything had to be started hanging, which is great because I already have the frame for it. All kinds of pots and pans, all my pots and pans are hanging above me. The small ones are right on top of me. Bigger ones are either on the side here or on the other side of the wall. So, because I can bang my head. But everything is finding a spot, and we're still kind of finding all the nooks to put everything. I have all the strainers up here, but if it's a big item, it's getting hanged up. That's kind of the rule here. What manufacturer is this stove? I don't know. It is used, the manufacturer mark is rubbed off right now, and it was just a good price. So I tested it before we bought it. I was very happy with the BTUs it was putting out. I like the design. Oh, and the thing that was limited my choice, I didn't have much choice in the stove, because most of the stoves you're gonna find, they will have a backsplash. This thing will be a couple inches high. What is that, like 30 centimeters? Could be that high. Most stoves will have some sort of chimney in the back to help bring up the heat. I wanted this whole thing flat, which was not easy to find. And my choice was extremely limited, especially in a used market. So this is the only stove that really fit the bill, and it fits the bill. I like it, it's great. I'm very happy with it. Then we have this little kind of rolling cart that was from the previous location that just fit perfectly in its new spot. I can't tell you the amount of joy I experienced when I found that the cart just fit perfectly. Oh my God, I can't, not perfectly. It had a handle on here before, but when I took the handle off, then it fit perfectly. And the handle then went over here and became a hanging system for my small tools. I love finding new spots for old stuff. Or on the rolling cart, I keep all my knives up here. This is temporary. There's too many, it's unorganized, I don't like it. I probably will get a magnet on the back wall and then hang them up here. I think that's probably what's gonna be the best solution. And then I'll have this top row for use. And then on the bottom two rows are all spices, herbs, flowers. Basically your spice shelf is on a rolling cart. That's how I did it there. Then we have these big giant shelves, which are attached to the frame itself. I saw these shelves as almost just like an advertisement shelf. Every time I try to put more stuff up here, Tank takes it all off because he wants to shot nice and I want to store stuff. So we're always in a battle. So there's some seasoning up here. There's really whatever's pretty. We have some wooden spoon chopsticks. I have some alcohol up here. If people come in, I got some cool shots to give them. Some plants. And then we have our CKSK neon sign, which was not a necessary purchase, but I'm so glad I bought it. I really like it. It makes, you think it's the best purchase? It gives it a good vibe. It was a chunk of money. It was but like nothing crazy. It was probably about $150, $180, something like that. But it's cool. I very much enjoy it. And we can control the intensity of it. When it's fully bright, it's definitely too bright. So Michael across the road, sir, gave me a little control knob so we can take it down a little bit. And then on the other side of the CKSK is I just stored all cups and stuff. So our agreement is like, this is not really in the shop, so I need to use it. So I have some metal pasta roller, big metal stuff, and then all my cups. Eventually, before I used to do dinners in here, not at this studio space, but the previous studio space, I did pop-up dinners a lot. And so I needed a lot of plateware and a lot of cupware for 12 people. So we will be doing that soon, a couple weeks. We have this beautiful bar, AKA credenza, that I love it. And I got lucky enough that I just kind of got this thing. Still figuring out where everything should go. But on a whole, most of the stuff I have in here is my food processor, blender, all my big kitchen equipment that I'm gonna use often is in here. And then we also have lids for pots and all of my silverware, spoons, forks, knives, that kind of stuff is stored in here. Just stuff that doesn't look good on camera, we're storing down inside. Is that it? Oh, and then we have one more fridge. So we have another home fridge, which I also got on a great deal, by the way. $10,400. It was the floor model. I love finding deals. This is really a fridge for storage, and we haven't done much in here lately, so it's not the most organized as ever, but all the condiments are in here. Usually if we're doing dinners and stuff, drinks will be in here, beers will be in here, sodas, that kind of vibe. And the only freezer I have access to right now, or that is close to me, is this one as well. So I have a small freezer in here that I get to use. And again, not much in here, mostly just leftovers. That whole setup must cost a fortune. It was not cheap, I guarantee that, and it continues to cost more and more and more. We're at least $20,000. The whole build out from the previous studio, moving it over. But again, the good thing is all this stuff is basically movable. So I think probably in my first studio, I put in about maybe $800 I'm not getting back. That was onto the original property. And in this location, probably there's gonna be another $1,200, $1,600 that I'm not gonna get back, that are just repairs to the space to make it usable. But the rest of the money should be able to just come with me as we go places. So that was the idea, that's why I built it this way. Awesome rentals, how much on average would something like this cost you to do in Saigon? Well, I don't know, like just to hang up the metal frame. Just to take the metal, I brought it over here. I didn't even bring it. I think it was $8 million, $360. So there's 4 or 5 guys in here doing that day and taking that apart. To hang up the hood, to install the piping, I believe that was $5 million. So that was about $240. The plumbing for the sink, I think was about $2.5 million, about $90. So it's not crazy. I mean, it's definitely less in the States, but it does add up. With that seating, you could do a Vietnamese teppanyaki, absolutely. Like that's the amazing part about this setup that I have right now. It's so intimate. When we're doing a dinner in here, you're right here. I'm right here. There is such a connection. Most open kitchens that you see, there's always some sort of layered bar, either where you're sitting below the kitchen or the kitchen's kind of sunk in. So, and that's always a good idea too, just in case somebody spills a drink, this food doesn't go on the floor. But we're all on the same table right here. When you're with me, when you're eating with me, when I'm cooking for you, we're all level. So there's no hiding. It's super tight, super intimate. It's fun. I think it's pretty amazing. All right, well that's it. End of the studio tour. You can go now, be gone. You can come back anytime you want though. If you want to join us at CKSK Pop-Up, send us an email to cksk@checkmeup.com. See you later, bye.